Page 126. Exercise 4.
The idea for the European Union was first conceived during the Second World War as a way to try and prevent future wars and secure world peace. As early as 1946, Winston Churchill, the former British Prime Minister, called for a United States of Europe in a famous speech at Zurich University. As a first step, in 1949, a Council of Europe was created by France, the UK, and the Benelux countries, which are Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. These countries were later joined by Germany and Italy when the European Coal and Steel Community was set up in 1950 on the initiative of Robert Schuman, the French foreign minister. Its objective was to unite European countries economically and politically. The 1950s were dominated by the Cold War between East and West. Tensions were high, and the possibility of another war seemed very real. Against this background, many countries in Europe decided to collaborate even closer. In 1957, the Treaty of Rome was signed, which created the European Economic Community, EEC, or Common Market. Member countries could now exchange goods and labor without paying tariffs. Over the 1970s and 80s, EEC membership gradually expanded. Denmark, Ireland, and the UK joined in 1973, followed by Greece in 1981 and Portugal and Spain in 1986. In that same year, the Single European Act was signed, turning the common market into an even more integrated single market. The end of the 80s and the early 90s were marked by the fall of the Berlin Wall, the reunification of Germany, and the collapse of communism across Central and Eastern Europe. All through this period, European integration moved forward, culminating in the Treaty on European Union, better known as the Maastricht Treaty, which came into force on the 1st of November 1993 and was responsible for giving the European community its new name, the European Union, or EU. One EU initiative that has had a great impact on ordinary citizens' lives is the so-called Schengen Agreement, which allows people from the 26 countries of the Schengen area to travel without passports or border controls. Among other things, it has led to an increase in the number of young people studying abroad. Another milestone was the introduction of the single European currency, the euro, which became official in 12 countries on the 2nd of January 2002. A few other countries, notably Denmark, Sweden, and the United Kingdom, decided not to join. At the beginning of the new millennium, in 2001, Europe and the world at large were shocked by the infamous September the 11th terrorist attacks, when hijacked planes crashed into buildings in New York and Washington, killing thousands of people. After this, EU countries began to work more closely together to fight terrorism and organized crime. The last decade has been marked by a serious economic crisis, with high unemployment and decreasing living standards. Tensions have appeared within the EU and disagreements about which policies to follow. While some countries question the EU's excessive bureaucracy and demand more freedom, others defend greater cooperation in areas such as new technologies, education, and the environment as the best way to bring new growth and prosperity.
Prepare